I think we are. We should be live.
We're live.
We live? We going live?
We're
We do
live.
it live. We do it
Do it
live.
live. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the Diz Idiots. We're the idiots so you don't have to be. We've got Brian, Bruce, and of course, I'm still Dozer. You can't get rid of me, despite how hard you may try. Mostly because I'm the guy with the login to the stupid software to do this.
I mean,
we can't
that's
do
a
the
big
show
part of
without
it.
you. Yeah, we can't do the show
Literally.
without you. Yeah.
Literally.
How y'all doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing good.
Now that someone is back that's running the company the right way, hopefully.
Oh, it's like there was Disney news while we were gone.
Yeah, a bunch of Disney news. My God, it was like Christmas morning.
Well, I'm pretty sure I heard Eric Bischoff's theme play at one point.
I'm back!
Him better than ever, got a knack for making things better.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
So, Dozer's tidbit of the day. That is not actually the theme song that Eric Bischoff returned to WWE with.
I know it's not.
What did he return with?
I don't remember. That one was later in it. I don't remember what it was though.
No, he only used the song for one day.
I don't know.
He returned with Back in Black.
Ooh.
Okay. I was gonna say I knew it was something popular, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah. So, that was my tip for today.
Nice.
You know, I'm happy. I'm happy that Iger's back.
Yeah, I think a bunch of us are. I mean, literally, I actually had to call Disney this morning for a couple of clients, literally on the phone for less than 5 minutes.
I will say,
Little things.
my recent clusterfuck with DVC, I was on hold less than I normally am.
Right?
I still have to get Meg to call them back because apparently I can't buy my own renew my own annual pass, but
Yeah, I know. There was a recent article I just read about, it was one of the Disney blogs. I don't know if it was like WDW News Today or one of them, but anyway, Bob Iger came out with a statement saying that he is not a fan of the ticket pricing of how expensive the parks have becoming. And he wants to come up with some sort of solution in which, if he's listening to, bring back free dining plan. If you're going to keep the prices where they are, why don't you just do some sort of all-inclusive package or include dining or something?
Lower the price.
That too. That's what I'm
shaking my head over.
I think the issue though is he's coming in right when these new plans have been in effect. Disney World announces ticket price hike, more changes. That's
as
new.
of 4 hours ago.
I hate to say they're pricing themselves out of the market, but
that's actually not surprising because I received notification earlier in the month, right around Thanksgiving, that they announced that the prices would be spiking today. Like today would be the last day to book prior of the spike increase. That might be the article regarding that, because today's the day that the prices go up. This is their annual price increase. But what Iger was saying though is that the amount of how much it spiked going up because this is the first time the prices have gone up since the pandemic. And I think what he was looking at was the amount of how much they're going up, and the new ticket pricing in play, he's not really a fan of. So what Disney's doing now is that they are varying the ticket pricing depending on the season that you go. Yes. So a 1 day, this is just an example. 1 day for a Magic Kingdom will range anywhere between $125 a day to $189 a day, depending on the time that you go. That's what Iger does not agree with. He understands with inflation that every year tickets have to go up in price, but now with this like range and date ticket pricing, depending on the season that you go, he's like, I mean, he understands. I mean, like, look, he's walking into this, so this was already something that Chapek
It was in
did.
process.
It was already in process. So
Yes.
he pretty much said in the article that, look, it is what it is. I can't control this now, but we have to figure out a solution that with this turn of events. Now we have to figure out how can we make it better or bring more people down if these ticket prices are going up. So I'm thinking maybe they should do some sort of like all-inclusive package, or whether it be bringing back free dining plan or adding dining plan as a perk.
Well, first you'd have to bring the dining plan back, period.
Right.
But on top of that, I mean, it is and it isn't at the same time.
What's up?
It is a perk and idea, but at the same time, it really isn't, because I think now that it's gone, I think you have people who never had it, won't miss it. And I think you have people who just don't care about the dining plan anymore, or they realize, wait, this is so much easier this way.
Well, I think lately, right now, the recent surveys, and they've been asking guests that have been coming to the parks, they're more inclined of everything's going up in price. So they're now looking at it as, well, if prices are going up higher and higher, why is the food going up higher and higher? And we're getting lower portions for the price of what we're paying. So that's why I think they're looking at it as a feature where it's like, if we do this ticket new pricing system, like there could be a possibility that meals may be included, but it might be only like 2 quick services or 1 quick service and 1 sit down meal or something like that.
No, so
because people are complaining about like they're paying for everything while they're down there, and then like when it comes to food and menu items, they're looking at the prices of the menus and they're just like, this is ridiculous.
But that only affects the part of your business also.
True.
That's kind of what I was getting at as well. You have people who aren't, and I think you're going to have that's another thing he needs to look at and change. You have less and less amenities. Yes, it's ease of access and it is nice to stay on property, but you have a good amount of people that don't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not including Florida residents. They're their own monster.
They are the undesirables.
Yeah, I say monster in the nicest way possible. You guys do your locals at your local park, you know.
Well, I will just say this much. Universal just came out with a ridiculous promotion right now. I mean, they've done it before, but the way how they're advertising it is pretty insane.
What are they doing?
Buy 2, get 2 days free. You get basically for the price of a 2-day admission, you get 4 days for free. And that's also including what I'm trying to think what's added in that. It's park to park passes. You buy 2 park to park passes, you get 2 park to park passes for free.
That's not a bad deal.
I know. And it's only for people staying on Universal hotels.
Let's face it. One, park to park's the way to go. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
That's also because they're trying to bring people back as much as it seemed.
And
booking my hotel was a little hard when I went down this year, but it didn't seem to be. I checked in and they had a room ready. I'm like, oh, you're packed. How is that possible?
Right. Yeah. And Universal also said if you wanted to add Volcano Bay, it's only an extra $35 for your package.
And right there, you have just disproved their marketing. It is not a third gate if your park to park pass will not work there.
True. But it's an option to go to the water
park. It's an option.
Right.
It's all marketing and we all know it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Disney was sitting there going, yeah, we have 6 gates. What are you talking about?
Right.
They do, it counts as a gate, but it's one of the parks always a half gate to me because, you know,
they're not fully open all day.
They're not, and not just that, they certainly close for rain. It's the water park. Hey, there's a storm in the area. Fun fact, we're closed.
Yeah.
Except for Volcano Bay. You can get electrified there anytime I hear. Oh.
But
Brian, you remember that. Okay. I was like, come on, Brian, you know.
Oh, I got it.
It's these price hikes are ridiculous.
Oh, I know. It's actually the worst right now. And especially when I saw the range pricing where they said the one that didn't change was Animal Kingdom. That's still staying at 109, but on peak times during the year, that will spike up to about like $125.
I mean,
Animal Kingdom's max price is 109 to 150.
Okay. 109. Okay, so that's where they're at currently.
Ew.
109 to
I
159.
just
Yeah.
listen. I get it. Prices are from everything go up. I get prices go up. I'm with it. I'm all up. I get that. But there comes a point of also what you're offering, and how can you charge me so much more and then tell me, oh, you didn't do it right. You can't ride our new ride. Sorry.
Right.
Eh,
The Lightning Lane thing, I think Bob Chapek, Iger is probably looking at that first.
He is not a fan of Genie Plus.
Yeah, I
not-
can well, they let go the guy that designed the whole thing.
And again, if you want to see, like, Genie Plus had its potential. If you want further reading, everybody out there, Defunct Land, their documentary on Fast Pass,
Mind blowing. It's fantastic.
like, this is a beast that was always coming. And seeing the beast as it was always coming, it is actually kind of impressive that you have not had such a systematic collapse of other Fast Pass systems. Unless Flash Pass sucks. Cause
Low Q. Anybody?
what chain was that? I don't even
Six
remember.
Flags. That was the predecessor of the Flash Pass.
Oh,
How did that system work?
Low Q, you had like a pager. It was weird.
Oh, that's right. I do remember
Yeah.
that.
I
remember-
thought that was the Flash Pass.
It is. No.
No,
Flash
this is-
Pass is Low Q. Low Q is Flash Pass 1.0.
Right.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's why I was joking around. You mentioned it is.
Yeah.
You're on the money. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's like-
I
It was
remember
like-
that.
They did it for such a. It was like Low Q and quietly. It's Flash Pass. We're not
Yeah.
going to mention that word anymore.
But
I forgot about that. It was like a little pager beeper thing that like you had to sit around and wait until it buzzed you like a dinner reservation. I remember that.
Back in the days.
I remember that. It looked like a
Yeah.
taser, like a little handheld taser
Yeah,
device. Yeah, I
exactly.
exactly
Yeah.
remember those. Oh
And
my
then
god.
It had oval, and then it became an oval looking thing.
Yes.
And then Flash Pass.
Yes. And then wristbands.
the big question, and it ties in with all of this, do you think there is any way to make virtual queues actually equitable for everybody in the park?
No.
No.
I'm not a fan of virtual queues at all, any way, shape, or form.
Especially if like the server is lagging that day.
It just in general, you gotta give them the option. If you built a low capacity attraction, that's fine, but
Right.
guests should always have the option.
Right.
And I know they're
And-
going to complain. I waited 5 hours. I waited all day to ride one ride. Hey, you stood in that line. You could have gotten out at any point.
Right.
I am A-okay with them sitting there going, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy, because of the immense demand for this ride, while the park closes at 10 o'clock, the line for Guardians will close at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that saying the line closes now. There's nothing ever been wrong with that.
You have to disseminate that information well so you don't have people crossing the park. But
Correct.
I do understand the problem that some of these parks have where people know if you're in line, you get to ride.
Yes.
So they're all rushing for that attraction 2 minutes before park closes to sneak in that line.
Mhm.
Well, at least within reason. There's many reports of many times people at the last minute jumped in line to Rise of the Resistance and it went 101.
To be fair, that could happen at 9 a.m. too.
Yeah.
I know it could, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of people be like, "What the hell? I thought I had the perfect plan."
There is no perfect plan for Rise of the Resistance except give them your money.
Pretty
That's the
much.
perfect- That's the perfect plan for all of them, in my opinion. I just make everybody pay. I don't know why they're doing. Stop with the virtual. Just make it be like, hey, here's our standby line. You want to go fast for this attraction? Got to pay for it.
Yeah. Either one or two things. Either, yeah. I mean, if they go that route with paying for the fast passes to skip the line, then definitely lower the cost of the admission to the parks.
No. You
Or just lower,
misunderstand.
or
I'm just talking when you're like, if you want to do what you're doing now with Guardians, Tron, Tiana's Bio Adventure. Just kidding. Come on. Had a little fun with that one. But if you just look at what they're doing there, it should be okay. Instead of saying you have a virtual queue, no virtual queue. Here's your standby queue. You want to pay extra? Here's a fast pass just for when we're doing the virtual queue for this.
right.
Again, I don't know why they wouldn't do that, because that's an easy, and maybe charge a little less for it, but that's an easy buck. In fact, if you charge less for it, I think you'd probably make more on it.
So, having done Remy's, I have a hypothesis.
Please.
They're doing the virtual queue for some of these new attractions because they know the line is going to be longer than they ever built queue for. And they don't want to build these excessive queues that will just, you'll walk through forever wondering when the hell you're going to get to the dragon.
Duel of Dragons.
And
Dusty.
at the same time, they don't want this line just going up the park.
Right.
So I kind of get it for these launch attractions, like the first couple months. Is it sustainable past that? No, it should not be. It should be like Rise of the Resistance is gone, where it is now a standby line, or Remy, it's a standby line. And I think Guardians will be the real test to see if it ever gets a standby.
Guardians will.
Now you got
when Tron opens.
I was just going to ask. Now you guys, I was not fortunate to ride Guardians yet because I was down there when it was during the annual pass holder sneak preview. When you guys rode that, like looking at the queue, did you feel like it was a possibility that this building could actually hold a standby queue, or was it spaced out to the point where it's like, oh, it made sense why it was only fast pass virtual?
Don't know.
You didn't get a chance to ride it, Dozer?
No, I rode it twice. But when you lightning lane it, you go.
It has a separate entrance.
Okay.
The lightning lane is obviously shorter. I did the standby queue.
Okay. Looking, all right, so let me ask you this then. So when you did the standby queue as a virtual, when you were walking through the queue, did you feel like this could be set up down the road as potentially a standby?
Guaranteed, no problem.
Okay. So it had
I
the
would
space
say
for
I
it.
waited 30 to 40 minutes. If I might be overestimating because it felt like it went fast. But that's just the excitement to get back on. Yes, it does. It does feel like it, and there's a lot of it's deceiving because it's obviously follows continuous, but you're going through the main room. It looks like there doesn't hold that much, but it does, and then you snake through all the artifacts of the exhibit and the interviews with the Guardians and everything.
Right, Xandar and all that stuff.
And they have since the two and. This is one I actually think the big showrooms benefit because Cool Effects, it tells the story and you have two rooms to dump into. Before with the dual station, I do think they could absolutely hold a standby queue, and they're built to do it.
Would you compare?
Whereas
let me
Remy
ask you,
is not.
I was just
God, Remy has no queue.
Well, let me ask you this. So you guys have, I mean, it's been out there for a while. Test Track, that, you know how like massive that standby queue is if you don't take the fast pass. For size capacity, would you say that the Guardians ride is smaller, about the same, or larger of like a standby queue than the Test Track?
Differently segregated, making it hard to tell.
It's hard to tell because the way they do it. Again, the Guardians queue is deceiving. It really is with the way they turn you.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, that's we're going with that. Test Track is too. There's a lot of queue, but you weave a lot, and that's what makes you be under. I would say Guardians has less, but not much less as people may think.
All right, because if anybody remembers the Universe of Energy, it was literally just like a screen waiting room area, and then you walked into the showroom. Like that was it.
This for. Where you are is, I believe, almost the entire Energy Adventure building.
Holy shit! That entire queue is the entire pavilion?
The queue and the entrance and the load is all.
Oh my god!
Brian, I'm not kidding. I left Remy's. I was walking over the France Bridge to go over the test track, and I'm looking over and I go, "What the fuck is that monstrosity giant building?" And then I see the tunnel, and I go, "Holy crap, that's Guardian!" And I'm like, "What is this
Yeah.
thing going to be?"
I mean, like, yeah, you could see from the parking lot because I remember when the day that we walked. Well, I'll never forget this because we went to Epcot twice on our trip. The last time, the one time was we were there the whole day, and then the second time we were there, I wanted to see Harmonious because the first night we missed Harmonious because it rained and all that stuff. So from the parking lot, you could see that monstrosity building.
Oh,
Which
Because-
I'm fine with. There's no way of hiding it. I'm over the hiding the sightlines thing. We can't do that anymore.
And I
folks.
love the only time, actually, there might have been one day for a hot second because of that painting of the sky blue. It actually did blend into the sky, but most of the time down there, it was like cloudy. So this giant sky blue building was such an eyesore to see that was taller than Spaceship Earth. I was
It
like,
was.
oh god.
Yeah. It's just remarkable when you see how tall. It's like, whoa, because I know we're gonna know. It's like, that's mind blowing.
Right. Yeah. Because I just remember how big that Universe of Energy building was as a ride, of how massive that show building was. To think now that, because I heard about, like, at least they took a good portion of it for the queue and maybe like part of the launch sequence or part of the ride.
It's all of it's the queue, your two showrooms, the queue, the load, and the launch in. That all
Wow.
takes place and it launches you into the other building.
When you walked through it, did you?
Oh, and the gift shop.
Okay. When you?
The afterthought of a gift shop.
But it's basically
Oh,
they were like-
really?
it was almost like, hey guys, remember when we were building Everest? Yeah, we forgot to build the break room. Yeah, where are we putting the gift shop?
Oh crap!
Shit.
It was one. So it's
Take
literally
the
break-
break room. Take the break room.
Take
So
the
it's-
break room, knock 3 walls down. We'll call it the gift shop.
wow. So it's really tiny.
Yeah, it's more akin to something you would see in Hogsmeade.
Well, and see, here's the other thing too. Like, I've seen pictures lately that most, if not a good portion, well, yeah, I guess most of the Guardians of the Galaxy merchandise, I guess because of how small that gift shop is, they've actually been selling it at the Creation Shop.
Yes, they have most of it. And it's funny. I think the merchandise is so lackluster.
How so? Like what merchandise do they have?
It's just not much of anything. I felt that way. The few things I liked at Mission Breakout, when I was in California, they didn't have in my size. But the merchandise is just kind of it's not much of it. Like I said, it's not much of anything. A lot of it just seems it's just neutral Guardian stuff. There's very little
Or like
Cosmic Rewind.
or like
Neutral Marvel stuff, because that's where I
yeah.
got my Eye of Agamotto.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like they've been selling, this is kind of like their bridge to start selling Marvel merchandise in the parks because it's a Marvel licensing characters
It
Guardians
is.
of the Galaxy.
It is, and that's why it's mostly generic. There's nothing. They have a few
See,
things, but
and-
again, it was nothing like, oh man, that's cool.
But see, that kind of bothers me a little bit because, yeah, I get it because if they want to sell Marvel stuff, but it's like you're, in a way, I mean, it's a stretch, but in a way, you're kind of misleading your guests
And
because you're even though you're in a Marvel attraction, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not the Marvel.
It is mostly Guardian stuff.
Okay.
It is mostly Guardian stuff, but it's generic Guardians. It's not
Oh.
all Cosmic Rewind. And that's how I felt. I think that's something about how they think they need to merchandise this.
Well,
I
'cause,
think
like, if you go
I'm
to-
assuming that's what sells most in California, so they said that's what we're going to
But
do.
see,
here.
but then again, though, you're out in California where there's Avengers Campus, so you're able to sell
Remember,
all of the Marvel stuff.
this was before Avengers Campus.
He was talking Mission Breakout.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was still thinking of Cosmic Rewind. Yeah, you're right. Mission Breakout. Yeah, you're right. I do remember that gift shop to be very slim pickings when it came to finding stuff. You're right. It was just like generic Guardians of the Galaxy T-shirts or generic like Marvel T. Yeah, I do remember that.
And I honestly don't know how much Cosmic Rewind stuff they could make.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can figure out stuff to do, but I'm not sure how much they can figure out.
Yeah, it just that's what I'm saying is that's what it seemed like. It was like, huh, really? This stuff is kind of lackluster.
But here's my question: why even put? I mean, I get it, but if you invest all that money in a large shop like the Creation Shop, that big, massive store that they have in the center of the park, why invest more money into building miniature? I mean, I get why they do it, but why waste their money to put these little pop-up gift shops at the end of every attraction? I know why they do
Have
it.
you met kids?
I
Yeah.
know
It's
why
also-
they do it, but I'm just saying from
That's
a
why they
business
make you walk
standpoint.
through it. This one's to the side. You can just walk right by it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, why even have it in the first place?
Because I'm going to take a guess here, and they want to make sure they have space for the Marvel stuff should more enticing opportunities come up to put in the Creation Shop.
It's
And the
also a
Creation
place-
Shop's the best shop in Disney.
It is.
It's
And
better
also
than
a-
WAD.
You're right. Yeah.
It's a place. Oh, WAD's terrible now. It's a place for people to wait. Too in an air-conditioned shop.
Especially if you're virtual queue. Yeah, that makes sense. That
Yeah,
I
it-
guess
it-
that
that-
makes
The
sense.
reason it's good to have something there.
Yeah.
It's a shop. It's air-conditioned. You sell drinks.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking from financial standpoint, and it's like,
It
know,
doesn't. It really doesn't cost them much other than the employees to run it.
yeah, that's true.
It's not much. And hell, when I was there, I met a nice guy from King of Prussia. So
There you
Of
go.
course you did.
No, but I get it though, because it's like they sell the same merchandise everywhere you go to the same shops. It's the whole repetitive marketing to eventually they want you to buy that one item that you think about walking around all day.
well, and I have noticed that some of the merchandise has gotten less repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't even a complaint from like COVID era Disney. This is a change they have made of something I complained about like 10 years ago. And they're remedying it slowly, and we are getting resort specific merchandise again.
Yes, I did notice that too when I was down there. I was
Amen to
so
that.
happy. I was so happy to see that stuff because it was like, I mean, now granted, like I didn't go on a shopping spree when we stayed at Coronado, but just the idea of going into like some of the shop, especially going to multiple hotels too. Like we went to Riviera for brunch the one day, we went to that gift shop and it was like exclusive Riviera merchandise, like shirts, hats, mugs, stuff like that. But
I got a
love it.
Vero Beach mug. I'm happy. I'm like,
I love it. I love
The
seeing.
mugs are perfect. People eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Disney fans love to collect. They know that. Why not do this?
The one thing that Liz and I thought of would be really cool because with now, I mean, switching over to the other company, Universal, with their hotels, what I love about, well, what Liz loves about the Universal hotels is that every hotel has a Starbucks. I would love to pitch the idea because Starbucks has those been there mugs. I would love to have the Starbucks. Now, it would cost a lot of money to do this, but if the hotels at Universal would either just do like a Universal Been There series mugs or do like hotels of the Universal chain, like Portofino Bay Been There mug, Hard Rock Hotel Been There mug, the Endless Summer Resorts Been There mug. You know, have like
Wow.
know what-
Wow, Brian. I see how it is. My two hotels.
one. Okay, okay, all right. Pacific,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Royal Pacific, Aventura, Cabana Bay, all of them. You know what I mean?
Sapphire Falls.
Sapphire Falls. You know what I
The
mean?
real Universal Resort.
I mean,
There, said
hell, who knows? Maybe they're planning on something big for the Epic Universe Lowe's hotels too. Maybe they'll have some sort of Starbucks launch when those Universal
Could be.
hotels. I'm just thinking because it's like when we went to the Disney Springs Starbucks, like those like because that's now where you can only get the theme park mugs is at the main unless you're at the theme parks.
yeah.
The only Starbucks in Disney Springs is the big one down by the balloon is where you can get the Been There theme park mugs, and they're always sold out. Like anytime you go, they're constantly sold out.
I have not had an issue going to the theme park Starbucks, though.
We have
I
Hollywood
need to
Studios.
look this up because I know of the mug, but I don't know what it looks like.
We have
I-
Hollywood Studios. I think we have the Disney ones, like Disneyland, but I don't think we have Magic Kingdom, Epcot, or even Animal Kingdom. Like they were just gone.
I have all the 50th anniversary bin theirs.
Oh, I see. These are fun.
They were
And-
all out.
I have all the series before the bin theirs. It was like the Wish You Were Here's or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And there's one bin there I don't have. I don't have Octu.
I have
I have Naboo, but I do not have Octu.
I do have the no, I have Batu. I did buy the Batu one on Disney website a couple years ago when they launched. I think it was like a series of 3 of them. It was Batu, Hoth, and something else. So I bought the Batu one. But
I have Naboo.
nice.
I haven't walked inside a Starbucks in a very long time.
We literally walk in them at every park to get the current mug.
I was gonna say to look at
Yeah,
the mugs.
like
Well,
I've had.
guess what I'm gonna do next time? I didn't realize this was this big of a thing.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would have been walking through
Oh,
Starbucks.
it's a huge thing. Ever since Disney announced that the Starbucks were coming into the parks and they launched the Bin There mugs for the parks, it is one of the hot, and because they're cheap, it's like $15 for a mug. It's
Oh,
like
that's
one
not
of the
bad.
it's one of the cheaper gifts to get
Oh.
at Disney.
Who would
and-
ever buy a Disney mug that costs like $20?
And then Meg started collecting the 50th anniversary tumblers.
Oh,
We have
no.
3 of them.
Oh.
They're
Nope, 4.
expensive.
Those
have
are
4.
yeah, no.
They have a holiday one that's really nice. Let's go buy it for my mom for birthday.
Is
Not
that the
as-
green? Is that the green and red sparkle one?
Yeah, not at $60 ain't happening. Because if mom found out I did that, I'd be butt whooping.
I
Those,
will neither confirm nor deny if that one is sitting upstairs.
did you guys get the blue and gold 50th anniversary Starbucks mug, the one that looks like Epcot at the bottom?
No.
That's the one that we bought. And online, we thought it was going to be bigger, like the normal sizes. But let me see if I can grab it. Hold on.
Is it more like a teacup?
Well,
I
They-
said that. I realizing he can't. As I'm
Yeah.
saying, I'm like he can't hear me.
my favorites are they also sell Christmas ornament size ones or espresso
That's cute.
size.
That's fun.
I thought they were espresso cups, and Meg goes, "No, they're Christmas ornaments." I'm like, "Yep, you're right."
That's still cool. I can get behind that.
All right. So
Show us your tiny cup.
here's the Batu one, because that's the land at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd get that one. But then this was the one from this past 50th celebration. You can just see
Oh, that's cool.
see how it has like Epcot at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's like a dark navy royal. It's a really cool mug, but the only downside is like when you compare apples to apples, like you could see the size difference between one over the other. I mean, they're
Yeah,
like,
Meg
One's
only
American,
likes the
one's
bin
European.
theirs.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Meg only likes the bin theirs, and the important thing with the bin theirs is they stack well.
They do. That is the one thing I do like about the Bin There mugs. Is they stack well. This little one I like, but it's a pain to
Disney
stack.
Starbucks, can we get a little money for the promotion over here?
I know, right?
Look, when
No
you're talking
swag.
about Disney, you gotta talk about merchandising.
Tell you what, we don't need money. Just give us
Guys.
mugs.
Absolutely. Just give us free mugs. I'll take that.
Give us free mugs, and I got an order I got to place with Joffrey's. So if you could just send some coffee too,
Yeah, Joffrey's. Absolutely.
Joffrey's. though I don't want the Starbucks. I like my beans not burnt.
Mm.
It's actually a struggle because I like light roast coffee, and nobody fucking sells light roast.
Hey, let me guys ask you this a question. So I'm planning a bachelor party from one of my buddies. And
Oh, fun.
initially I sort of actually talked him out of the Galaxy Star Cruiser. He kind of wanted to do that for his bachelor party, and I'm like, listen, for that kind of money, dude, we can do a whole week somewhere.
That's money better spent.
So what I'm down to 4 possible destinations. One, of course, is Disney. It's based off of states. So Florida is an option because of he wants to do Galaxy's Edge at least for one day. Possibly World Showcase. So there's 2 days at Disney. He wants to do Universal. The escape room just opened up, so I'm looking at like 2 days at Universal, 2 days at Disney, week hotel. But the question is like which hotel to sleep at. My question to you guys, with our age being 35, let's say it's the three of us and one other dude for a bachelor party. Let's
Old
say,
man, yeah, dirty old men at 35.
so would we feel comfortable all sharing 2 queen size beds at 35 years old, or do we want to have separate rooms?
That I think is a choice you leave up to people, to everybody paying.
You have to ask them what they want to do.
Right.
I am 34 and I am not a small gentleman. I
Right.
needs my own bed.
Right.
I remember Specs and Emily were inviting us up for their New Year's party, and I just sat there and I'm like, I'd consider it. But I'm 35. I don't sleep on the floor anymore. You got a couch or something?
I mean, I'm flexible. I'm all about cost. I'm like, look, if you guys want to be cheap about this and just share queen size beds, it's only 4 of us with 1 bathroom. I'm down for it. But I don't know how everyone else feels.
I don't think I'd be comfortable in a queen because, let's be fair here. You're there for a bachelor party.
True.
Y'all gonna be drunk coming back to that room.
True.
Mhm.
That's why I was thinking about some place close like the Boardwalk or something if we're doing World Showcase. So that's one scenario. Second scenario, of course, is Vegas. That's obviously on a possible option. New Orleans, because he's never been to New Orleans either, is a third option. And then the fourth option is seeing Back to the Future on Broadway in New York City.
My money is Nolans.
That's, yeah. If you guys, out of those
Viva
4,
Las Vegas.
so we have 1 Vegas, 1 New Orleans.
New Orleans would be fun, but I just went on a bachelor. That was such an awesome time.
Where'd you guys stay out in Vegas?
We stayed at the Link.
Where's that? Is that near the Strip or is that?
And it's on the Strip. It's one of the Link. It's part of the Caesars. It's it's next to Harrah's.
Okay.
It's right across from Caesars.
What all did you guys do?
We went to battle Las Vegas and shotguns. So that's what Tony wanted to do, so we all did. Shot Tommy gun.
Did he want to go to Vegas for his bachelor party? Or
He did. No, this is he's all on board. It was all we gambled, we drank, we saw a zombie burlesque show that was utterly bonkers fantastic.
That sounds fun. Well, so like
it's a burlesque show through and through, and it's hysterical.
So the one thing,
don't see Chris Angel.
Well, no, look.
No, you see Penn and Teller if you're going to see Magic.
Sorry, Tony.
Well, the thing is,
Tony
with my buddy Nick is huge. I mean, he's a big car guy, and I know Vegas offers like exotic car driving.
Oh yeah.
But then I came across this amazing, cool helicopter ride that you can apparently shoot guns out of. I'm like, that sounds pretty dope.
God bless desert.
I'm like, that sounds fun, except the helicopter ride shooting guns, I think, is like $500 a person.
For $2,000, you can crush a car with a tank.
Yeah, that for $2,000, that better be with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Like, like for that kind of money, if I'm dropping $2,000 a person to
well, it's funny. I looked at it. I said, that's actually not as bad price as I thought it was going to be. Not that I'm saying I wanted to do it. I'm like, 2,000 is actually. I was expecting more.
That's what I was saying. Like, these guys are like, yeah, we'll do it, providing we'll save up and all this stuff. We just need to know how much money the trip's going to cost. But I'm like,
Vegas. That's the one thing with Vegas. That's very expensive.
I know.
Like we ate at the Gordon Ramsay restaurant. That was delicious. Hell's Kitchen.
See, that's the thing. Like with Vegas, like I'm not a huge gambler, but I'm also somewhat of an addict when it comes to gambling. Because you know what I mean? Like if I'm caught up in the moment, like if I'm in the moment, I will get lost in the moment. If I'm not in that moment, if I'm away from gambling, I don't gamble. But if I'm caught up in the moment, if I'm on a hot streak or whatever, I don't walk away. And I need to, and that's dangerous.
I get that. I didn't do much gambling. I don't like to lose money like that.
Right.
I was like, this is my booze. I said, I won't gamble. I'm just going to booze. Right. I gambled some for booze.
Well, sure. I mean, I would gamble some too, but I'm one of those cats where if I'm on a hot streak, I need to know when to walk away and not You know, and Vegas is dangerous.
Kenny Rogers got no one to hold him, no one to fold him.
Fold 'em. Yeah.
I honestly might not even step on the floor.
But then again, if we went to Disney, that's also dangerous too. Because it's like I'm surrounded by merchandise.
I don't think you can go with anything that you're planning here. I don't think you're going to go. It doesn't sound like you're with because you got to think about what T wants. It doesn't sound like you're with a group that's going to have a problem either way.
No, because him and I are very much alike. I mean, he's practically like we are literally Irish twins 6 months apart from separate parents. Like we are that much simpatico. We have the same taste in everything. That's why I was like, because you know, we've been talking about going because we went on a trip 27 years ago together. It was his family, my family. It was the six of us. Like all six of us went down to Florida Universal for like a full-blown week when it was back in the 90s when you could do such a thing and stay on property and spend less than, you know, $1,000 a day a week.
So I am going to offer for, I would say, for the Disney option, change hotels.
That's we'll see. I was even looking at just staying off property. I'm like, if we only do Disney for a couple of days, if we only do Universal for a couple of days, we can easily just do like an hell, even like an Airbnb or just like an offsite, like a Hilton or just some sort of cheap hotel offsite.
They all will get you to and from those parks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because like, I mean, even with my travel agent rate, the problem though is like most of these rooms with my TA rate, they're all two bedroom or like 2 queen size room with a bathroom or something like that, or a 1-bedroom villa, which with a pull out sofa and a queen size bed. You know, it's like, yeah, sleeping for 4 people, but it's mostly for a family, not 4 grown male adults for a bachelor party. Even for the Universal hotels were like this set up the same way too. And until I was looking at like Portofino Bay villas that were going for like $800, $900 a night. I'm like, no, not for a bachelor party crew.
Not Portofino. For bachelor party, you wouldn't stay at Portofino anyway.
Well, I was looking at Hard Rock. I was thinking the Hard Rock
No,
hotel.
no. Sapphire Falls, because it's below. It's not the premium. It's a mid.
Right.
So that's why Sapphire Falls, if easy access to City Walk and everything,
right?
It's separate from everything else. Very nice pool. You could walk over to Royal Pacific. You could walk to Cabana. They have the best restaurant you're going to find outside of Twosomes.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember Sapphire Falls. Is that the one, if you're heading towards Islands of Adventure, that has the entrance to City Walk? Or is that...
Yes.
It's not Royal. It's not
no. That's Royal. No. You have to go by boat. Sorry, I thought you meant at the boat dock. I was like, yeah, it's the last one.
No. As if you're walking,
that's Royal Pacific. You can't walk from Sapphire unless you do it that way.
Okay,
that's Royal Pacific. You have to take the boat. It goes past Royal into the Sapphire Falls dock.
Okay, that makes sense then, because I remember seeing an entrance from a hotel to Islands of Adventure, like right past.
That's
Margaret.
Royal.
I figured.
Just like it used to be back in. He's trying to climb behind my TV. Back in the day when you could walk from Hard Rock basically right into studios.
So I would say I had good success with this hotel in the past, but it's been well over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
I would say check out Westgate Lakes.
Okay.
It is a timeshare, but they do you can pay
rentals.
cash, and it is smack dab in the middle.
Oh, that's nice. Westgate Lakes.
It is literally across the street from SeaWorld.
It is.
Oh, I know where it is.
You know where it is.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Brian, you know it.
Yeah,
that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, he knows this.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that big massive thing on 95, right? Yeah. I know exactly where that.
I've had good success there.
Is that near Gaylord Palms?
No. Gaylord's the other direction. This is up near SeaWorld.
Gaylord is like.
Gaylord is going towards Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
This is like it's 10 minutes to Disney, 11 minutes to Universal.
Yeah, it is. It's perfectly in the middle about.
And it's called Westgate
Lakes.
And it gives you the advantage of you get that timeshare room where you have the kitchen, you have a place that you could just spend the night drinking in the room more reasonably or whatever.
Oh, I think this is where my sister-in-law stayed. when she went down with her parents and her son. Yeah, I think this is where they stayed. Huh.
There,
Interesting.
there are plenty of other timeshare places down there, but that's just the one I've had success with.
Yeah. Huh. Definitely check that out.
And your bachelor party, when you go to Universal and you end up at Pat O'Brien's, you want James.
James.
If it's Brecken, grab and move. Brecken's a sweetheart. I love Brecken. Brecken will cut you off.
So we need to ask for James.
James, you want to find James? Alex. If Alex went out to the bars, if Alex is back, Alex was the best. She was awesome. When you go into Finnegan's, ask for Jan or Anne Mary.
Wait, where is Finnegan's at City Walk?
No, that's in Universal Studios Park.
Oh wait, that's the
pub right across from the market.
Yeah, that's
when you inevitably end up at Finnegan's, Jan or Anne Mary. And if it's Anne Mary, you want liquid marijuana or dude, where's my car? Italian wedding is also good.
Italian wedding. All right. Yeah.
Is it bad I have bartenders at a place I visit once a year?
No.
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
And then, not just bartenders, they do, folks. They do remember me.
You know what? It's Dozer. You know what it is? It's just called connections. That's all it is. It's just connections. It's just called connections. It's not bad that he knows bartenders once a year going down.
Multiple. I know that
they
know me at Cabana. They know me at Sweetwater.
All right, now that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. It's not bad that you have the connections once a year to go down, but if you go down, they're like, Bruce, like they actually know you after a year.
No, they know
bad.
me. And if they don't know my name, they're like, wait a minute, I remember you from last year.
And they weren't like ex-Disney employees that crossed the
cross the streams. People that just met me, just like when I went to Homestyle and just said, "Hi, my name is Bruce. I'm going to be here waiting for my friend drinking. We're going to become best friends. What is your name?"
Oh my god. Yeah, we're looking at possibly the first week in May. So that was the other thing too. I was like, when you guys want to do this bachelor party, if we want to go to Florida, I try to avoid going down in the summer. So I'm like, if we go down, it's got to be April or May. Because the wedding's in September, and I'm like, if we go to Florida, it's got to be before May.
Brian, what is with us having ships passing in the night trips in Florida?
When are you going?
You know full fucking well when I'm going.
Oh, it's right. That's right. The cruise. That's right. The cruise. The surf and turf. The surf and turf.
Oh, jeez.
You booked the damn thing.
I know. I forgot. It's so far out in advance. That's why when you booked it, I was like, all right, I forgot about that.
Forgot about what?
That's cruises.
Yep.
Sadly. But hey, we also got to stay at Riviera going there, so.
That
could be nice.
If I ever renew my annual pass, because
are you using you're using your DVC points though, right, for Riviera? Yeah.
We have 360 points. We don't pay cash for shit.
Yeah, not for Riviera too. I looked at trying to book there with cash. I'm like, that's insane.
No, the DVC resorts have fuck you pricing.
Yeah,
it is to make it seem like a better deal.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm like looking at these rooms for Riviera, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like Art of Animation has larger rooms than some of these, especially the studio for 2 bedrooms.
Really,
dude? If so, the rooms for Riviera start for for 2 people occupancy, but they are this is literally how big the room is for 2 people. It is a Murphy bed that comes out of the wall with 1 bathroom. That is it.
Wow.
That is it. It is literally, you walk in, it is a living room with a couch, with a wall, with a TV, and you pull the handles down from the wall and it becomes like a king size bed. That's it. That is that's what the rooms start at for Riviera.
Wow.
And they charge $500 a night.
I thought Riviera was a better hotel than that. Wow, damn.
Okay. I am going to defend Riviera. I'm taking a guess here. I've not looked at all the floor
Defending
plans.
their honor.
I am going to take a wild guess that that has a connecting door
No.
to a bigger room that, because a lot of the times DVC, they'll do lockouts where
Oh,
the one bed, there's the one bedroom and then a studio that makes a 2-bedroom studio.
possibly then, because they sell these as studio king size rooms, so that might be the case. But looking at the floor plan though, like it just they have it as a standard like like a two person, like one bedroom, like a one king size studio room is what, or I think they call it king size studio is what they call it, because you can get queen size or king size studio rooms, and these rooms are literally just like a living room, loft, small kitchenette, bathroom with a pull out Murphy bed from the wall for $500 a night. I'm like, that's insane.
Having
Ridiculous.
stayed in a variety of DVC studios, the shrinking of them as you like go forward in time is insane.
Wow.
Because
Like-
I think what they're I this is what I feel. I mean, I'm not a DVC member, but this is how I'm feeling right now. Just looking at the size of these like rooms that they're trying to sell, I feel like they're actually downsizing the rooms to create more options to choose from for people to book DVC resorts. Like they're trying to double the occupancy. Like they're like if they have like a 2-bedroom suite, they're now selling 2 1-bedroom suites as DVC resorts, because they're putting more walls up and separating doors and all this stuff to add more rooms, to add more bookings for people to stay at these resorts.
So the issue DVC runs into is, especially as the base is aging,
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of people that, they were probably mid-40s and they bought it for their family.
Right.
Well, now maybe their kids have moved out, but they don't quite have families of their own yet, so it's just mom and dad going down. They don't want the big studio. They don't want the big 2-bedroom. They want to go.
They don't want the kitchenette. They just want to go down for a vacation. They want to stay like in a hotel, but they want to own property.
Yeah, and you listen to some of these like DVC old heads that have been with it since Vero.
Yeah.
And like I sit there and go, yeah, we have 360 points. They sit there and they go, yeah, we have 2,500 points. Like the point totals they talk about are insane because they were buying them for like $10, $15 a point.
Right.
Yeah.
Back when it first started.
Not the 50 to 100 they are now.
I just want them to bring back annual passes. I just want them to bring back outside, like out of state annual passes, so I can be happy with my travel agent rate and I don't have to buy tickets anymore. I can just pay a flat rate of annual pass rate and just go down 5 times a year. And I'll be happy.
Yeah, I already called them to convince them to sell Bella an annual pass last year, so
I believe that will be coming back.
It's
one of those that's a Sal Bennett decision, if you will.
I think if Bob Iger is smart, I think if he wants more people to come to the parks and create more revenue, I think that'd be one of the first things to do is actually open that up again.
Because I believe he did say or hinted that he wanted to get rid of the booking restrictions.
yes.
Oh, like the theme park reservation system? Yeah, that I did read that too. He wants to get rid of that.
Supposedly that was on the chopping block already.
I have a feeling in this next like quarter, Disney is just going to be dropping a bunch of stuff, like revamping the Genie Plus system.
They got to look down the street. They're not doing it, and they're doing fine, and they're doing real well. Disney wants to step it up. That's the big thing. Well, what are they doing differently? Wait a minute. They're not restricted when people come to the parks. Well, shit, there it is.
And you know, I mean, I don't know how you guys felt
it's
about.
It's also different because, well, they sell only park-to-park passes, but you know what I mean.
I don't know how. I mean, how did you guys feel when you saw Galaxy's Edge? What was your first impression with Galaxy's Edge? When you first saw it, like even before the ride, just walking right into that land, what was your first impression seeing the stuff? Like,
why am I walking through a Gotham bridge to get there?
All right, past the bridge. Past the bridge. You're already in Galaxy's Edge. Past the bridge. You're in Galaxy's Edge. Rise of Resistance on your left.
Gotham Bridge.
You're right. You're right about the. Why am I walking through?
Oh my gosh, it's so true. That's why it's so funny, folks. It's so true.
Well,
Holy crap.
and here's my question: how the hell did I get to Galaxy's Edge through Andy's backyard? Because that was my like. Because my. Well, but Liz actually thought of a really cute like tie-in connection that I didn't even think about. That I was like, oh my god, that actually kind of works. When we actually walked through, we ended up walking through Toy Story Land and coming out of the tunnel the first time around that we went there. And we walk through Toy Story Land, we see Slinky Dog, all that stuff, and then we come through the back entrance of Galaxy's Edge. And she goes, so are these Andy's Star Wars toys? And I'm like, no, we're on a galaxy far, far away. But I'm like, I never even thought about that from that side of the. If you walk through Andy's backyard in Toy Story Land and like end up in Galaxy's Edge, like theoretically, if you wanted to use your imagination, you could say it's a continuation of Andy's backyard with his like Star Wars play sets set up and everything too.
You know, at the end of the day, the difference between lands doesn't have to be cohesive.
No.
It could be jarring. It just always threw me off because
that whole thing, the walking through the tunnel of the Toontown or under the Gotham Bridge, whatever you want to call it, it's all supposed to be a transportation that you're feel you're someplace completely different.
Now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you're right though. It is weird though that you're walking through a tunnel and then all of a sudden you're just.
I walked through. We came out. Honestly, my first reaction was, okay. I see. You're jealous of Diagon Alley. I get it. I'm here.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Well, see, that's the reason I was asking is that, like, you know, Bob Iger was the CEO at the time when Harry Potter came out, and he hired like people to go in to check out Diagon Alley to see how like immersive storytelling it is to bring back information to help create Galaxy's Edge. I'm also wondering if he's thinking about doing the same thing, going back into Universal, hiring agents or whoever to go in and see how their park system works and report back by saying, you know, this is what's working. This is
people. They already do it.
Well, you know what I mean. Like
if you're telling me Disney doesn't have secret shoppers in Universal,
I'm sure
daily, and Universal doesn't have secret shoppers in Disney.
I'm sure they do.
You're telling me you don't think the Imagineers in the area don't own season passes to Universal?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they are. But what I'm saying though, I guess maybe Bob Iger.
They only secret shop SeaWorld once a week or so, though.
And Legoland, it's once a year.
It's the Holy Land Experience closed. That was the main one.
Oh yeah, the Holy Land Experience. Surprised Chapek didn't dab his fingers into that to buy the property and add something like a.
You don't know that. You don't know that. It's one of those things they locked away into the famed Disney vault.
And all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're going to open up a dinner show, a permanent resident of Disney on Ice in Central Florida. They'll be open year round.
But Disney doesn't own Disney on Ice.
Oh, and Bob Iger, he's back. He'll probably get the rights back, just like he got the rights back from Oswald.
The company that owns Disney on Ice is almost just as massive.
Who owns Disney on Ice?
Feld Entertainment.
They're huge. They really are.
They're Ringling Brothers. They're Monster Jam. They are.
Oh,
if there is touring entertainment, they do it.
If you remember Death to Smoochie, they're the Parade of Hope. They've had their hands in every ice show since the Ice Capades.
I'm sure Bob can make some sort of permanent resident agreement with them to have some sort of show.
No problem. I just wanted to more drop the bomb of Feld Entertainment owns fucking everything.
Yeah.
I went down a Monster Jam rabbit hole last week, and I'm like, what the hell?
Listen, simple as this. This is the perfect place to have a permanent Disney on Ice residency. You kick Cirque out, the world is better.
That's what I was thinking that too. Yeah.
The world is better with less Cirque in it. I'm sorry for my Cirque fans. I don't agree.
That's actually not. I'm surprised they actually haven't done that. Is to just say, like, look, if you really want to market Disney down here, put a goddamn Disney on Ice in Disney Springs. That'll draw the crowds. It would too. It seriously would. A year-round Disney on Ice show.
Have you been to Disney on Ice?
A long time ago. The last Disney on Ice that I remember was Toy Story.
It's great. It's fun. It's such schlock. It doesn't fit in with.
But if Disney
It's-
has their own Disney on Ice that's not actually run by that travel company, that's a permanent resident, don't you think maybe the quality might actually be
I
better?
don't know. There's only
It
so much
could be,
it
but
could
there's
be.
only so much you can do.
You're not going to suddenly make these characters wonderful ice skaters. Mickey ain't becoming a great ice skater.
No, but
Goofy, maybe.
it doesn't have to be Disney on Ice. It just could be Disney presents something on ice.
I think Disney should just do just a normal theater. Because
I've always
I'm-
liked that idea.
Thought that for a long time.
Like a Broadway type theater, like live performance stage theater, like that. Like a,
closer to it, not fully an opera house, but not a large Broadway venue.
So
When I say large, I'm talking, 2,500 to 2,000.
sure.
2,500. That's
Some-
a large. Problem with that, that's a large theater.
How big's Philhar Magic?
500, if that.
Yeah, it's not that many.
So here's what you do. You know, NBA Jam experience, whatever the hell it is. We're taking that down. And what we are going to mimic is we are going to mimic the Walt Disney Theater from the cruise ships.
I could do one better. Why don't you just recreate oh my god, I'm throwing a blank. What was the movie theater that Walt Disney? It's the Carthay Circle. Why don't they
Oh.
just?
That could be the outside. I'm talking the inside. I want the Walt.
Oh, okay.
And I have a very specific reason for this. That is a very changeable format because of the cruise. It is very well set up to host multiple different shows and movies.
Ooh. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I have to this day, I don't recall ever seeing a movie at the AMC Theater at Disney Springs. Now, I will say I finally was able to see
I've
a
been
movie
there
at
multiple
Universal.
times.
I've been to the movie theater at Universal to see Top Gun, but
I'm a frequent visitor of the AMC when I was down.
how is that AMC Theater down there? Because I mean, is it something that
The
like?
theater.
But does it draw crowds? Is what I'm asking.
It does. I think it not necessarily. I don't know if it draws more than it used to. It used to draw a lot of crowds because it was easy to park. Anybody could go.
All right, because I'm just thinking
Locals,
like,
rain days.
Yeah.
well, I'm just thinking like with your idea, Dozer, to have like movies in there. Like, would that be necessary since they already have that large movie theater?
Yeah, but you could do
Yes.
like big movies. You could do events, premieres.
private screenings.
You could have premieres of the Marvel movies there.
Couldn't they just do the premieres at that AMC Theater?
No.
No.
Now AMC does have some big theaters down there, but I'm talking you would make a very special venue for it. You want this to stand the F out, not just be an AMC.
You're not going to look if you're doing a big premiere. You're not rolling a red carpet in front of the AMC.
Yeah,
True.
you can create your whole thing there.
And you know what? You're right, because it's all the way down there at the end by Cirque du Soleil. They could close it off for the private events. That does make sense now. Okay, I see what you mean.
You can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And then you can have you take the cruise ship shows where you're looking at 30 to 40 minute Broadway style shows. So you could have 2 to 3 seatings in an evening.
Mhm.
And then you can have 2 to 3 different shows set up ready to go.
Go.
So
Yeah,
that
I keep forgetting how big that building is.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you have your shortened Aladdin.
Right.
Tuesday, Thursday, you're rolling Frozen.
Right.
It's a weird use
Little Mermaid,
for
Tarzan, Beauty and the Beast.
Well, and then not only that too, but like now that I'm even gears are turning, now I'm thinking like if you stay on the resort hotels, they can even have the timesheet at your hotel resort too, like the show times that it, like on
Yeah.
these days, these shows are playing at these times, these shows are playing, and it's an option at the resort when you check in with all your, just concierge information. Like, hey, if you want to go see a Broadway show, these days are Aladdin, these days are Frozen during your week while
Yeah.
you stay here. It'd be great. Yeah, absolutely. And that building is large enough that they could do that. Yeah.
There's your answer.
A
I
code
don't know.
work.
I don't know how we got there from Disney on Ice, but
It works.
It's
I mean,
natural. It's all.
I was
it's all-
just
it's all
thinking-
entertainment.
I was just thinking of a building in Disney Springs. I'm like, well, if this great movie escape at Universal is a huge success,
It's going to be.
I'm just thinking Disney's got to be like they got to be gearing that up. They have to be thinking of like, how can we compete against Universal in that spectrum? Because did you guys see how much money the escape room is?
And no, I saw the pictures inside.
So
Much.
this is really cool. There are 2 ticket tier pricing options for you. Now they are separating the rooms, so it's it's not like a package. Like you
can only do one or the other. That's yeah.
$50 a person, or if you want a private escape room, up to, I think they said 8 guests, regardless of the amount of people in your party. If you want your own private escape room, $300.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's always been a system that escape rooms do, but
Yeah.
the price they usually a lot of them are no, you have to have a hard amount.
Right.
But
Now
yeah,
they just said a minimum of 4 and a maximum of, I think, like 8 for the private, and they said it's $300 regardless of if you want to do Jurassic Park or Back to the Future.
That's
$300
not
for
bad at
private,
all.
and then $50. They were just like, yeah, you might be. Now here's what's also really cool. It's only the 2 themed movies as escape rooms, but
no.
they are they came out and they said it's quote unquote rewritability, which means if you are, let's say you do Jurassic Park, you enjoy it so much you want to go back down and do it again, there may be different rooms that you have to escape through. It's not the same escape room twice. So that's why I'm
only
like,
so much they can do with that, but I know for a fact there's very heavy rumors. There's one more room under construction.
which one?
you built a time machine out of a car.
That's da.
I've heard Jaws. I've heard Jaws.
Is a heavy rumor that the Jaws room is going to be horrifying.
I've heard Jaws. I've also heard oh god, what was the other one that I heard about? Harry Potter's been on there too. They've been talking about a Harry Potter themed. It was another classic attraction. What the hell was it?
Confrontation.
No, it wasn't. E.T. I think they were talking about possibly doing an E.T. escape room.
Oh, good. So then we can close the attraction.
Yeah. That was the heavy rumor, is that because of Kid Zone being officially shut down,
Minus ET.
minus ET, pretty much that entire land minus ET is officially shut down.
It's going to be a nice dream world. Oops, who said that?
Yeah.
It's
Which
just
I'm okay with. I think that to me though, it just seems weird that you have Illuminations up front and then you have DreamWorks all the way in the back. But I mean,
not Illumination, simply Minions.
well,
Now that Villain Con has been confirmed,
yeah,
it
okay.
sounds cooler than originally I thought it was going to be. It does sound interesting, but that's officially announced with the Minions Cafe.
Cohesiveness has never been Universal's strong suit.
Well, yeah, because they just look at what's hot and what do we have room for it.
Yeah.
The other rumor is that they're planning to add Secret Life of Pets somewhere.
I've heard that as a possibility for Epic Universe. That is apparently because now
that happens to be somewhere.
Well, the latest rumors for Epic Universe is that because we saw the map of like the potential. We know
We
that
see what they're building and where they're building it.
right, but now they're looking at the square footage, and now some executives at Universal saying, well, what if we actually create mini lands, 2 or 3 mini lands in that space for that one lane we were supposed to have. So like now apparently How to Train Your Dragon may or may not be How You Train
I
Your
was going to say,
Dragon.
let me guess, they changed the whole How to Train Your Dragon Village?
So apparently the How to Train Your Dragon Village may not fully be that film. It might be half that area is that film, and the other half might be something else animated.
Just be Kung Fu Panda. Just make everybody happy and make everything Kung Fu Panda.
It might just be Secret Life of Pets and How to Train Your Dragon in one section.
Because I know that attraction out in Hollywood gets very good marks.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of that. Let that be out there. Make something new here, but say la vie. But that was the rumor for a while. They wanted to put it someplace.
Yeah, at some places apparently Epic Universe, because now, yeah, because they're still like they're really trying to keep hush hush with everything with Epic Universe. Like the only thing that they're like we know for a fact is Super Mario. Like that's the only thing that and 3 hotels
that and Universal Monsters.
that hasn't been official. That hasn't. It hasn't been officially official. I mean, it's
trust
all
me.
It's
It's
all but
official.
it's all but official. It's
Yeah.
all but official from Universal for Universal Monsters. But like we know there's 3 hotels and that's
Harry
it.
Potter.
Well, even that's not like because originally they were going to do Fantastic Beasts. Like J.K. Rowling wanted to have
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts.
I'm
at the
aware,
beginning.
but it's still Harry Potter. It's all Harry Potter. It doesn't matter where you put it under. Fantastic
can't-
Beasts is still Harry Potter.
But regardless, though, like because of how much money that those films did not bring into the box office, they're now rethinking: should we add a 3rd Harry Potter gate theme park?
It is.
And-
We already know what it's going to be.
What is it? Ministry of Magic?
No, it's the Battle of the Ministry of Magic. It's actually, I believe, the Paris Diagon Alley, and then you enter it's the battle for the Ministry of Magic. Apparently, Imelda Staunton signed on to play Dolores Umbridge once again, and it's all about breaking her out. She's trying to get something to go back in time and do something. So Harry Potter, it's about time.
So, does this take place around Deathly Hallows? Like when is
Brian? You've exhausted my Harry Potter knowledge.
Here's the reason why I was asking is that like unless J.K. Rowling signed off on this from what to me sounds like an original story, I can't imagine they're going to do this.
That's what
without
everyone
her-
said. That's the heavy rumors that this is what's happening.
Because like even with Escape from Gringotts, like that was pretty much the last book.
There's a good chance she did sign off on it.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, because she's very, when it comes to like original content like that, like she's very all about being involved.
Because Imelda Staunton's involved, if that rumor's true, that makes me think she signed off.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
But that's the heavy rumor. That's what it's going to be.
I don't know. I just, regardless of Disney or Universal, for someone that's building a brand new theme park, create new fucking ideas and stop like saying, well, hey, if this stuff's selling, we might as well add more because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's like if you're trying to, yes, Dozer?
That's literally the point of Universal.
Yeah.
But they need to get out of their shell, is what I'm saying.
They're not, yeah, but they're not about their own IPs. They're about using.
It's Ride the movies. It's always been about the movies.
Well, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But there again, though, Universal has a massive library of 100 years of just cinema. What I'm referring to is why put all your eggs on one IP in 3 theme parks when you have a brand new theme park that pretty much the options are practically endless to choose from.
Because the amount of money that brings in is staggering.
But
Harry Potter makes so much money. That's why for Horror Nights dipped for a few years. They stopped caring about their cash cow forever because Harry Potter makes that much money. It really does. It's disgusting.
So wait, so you're saying that's why this past year they were allowed to have like Halloween Horror Nights in Diagon Alley?
No,
with the
that's from a contract. No, I just more mean they stopped caring about the event. It was seen internally they had a power struggle because people thought they stopped caring about it where they used to be the favorite thing. Oh, it's Horror Nights. God, praise be. It became, well, That's what I mean. There used to be cash cow. They were like Harry Potter. It really does. Those robes sell like hotcakes. Everything. It's amazing. Harry Potter moves buku merchandise. That's the only reason I think they're having it. It's not just the attraction. It's the merchandise it moves and the food and everything.
And the fact that if there was no Harry Potter, Universal would not be what it is today.
True.
We probably wouldn't even have Volcano Bay. Like,
I guess. I mean, I will say that Harry Potter definitely brought in that cash revenue for Universal. I will say that. But I guess my question, though, is
it pulled people away from, that was the whole thing. It pulled them away from Disney.
It did. But I guess what I'm saying is, though, like, now it's already established. Like, they have Harry Potter already. Like, it's already there. And regardless, like, the money will always be there coming in because people are going to see those two parks. I guess my issue, though, is like, why?
Because you got to get people from those two parks to the other park. And
Harry Potter will want to see it badly to sell another ticket to another gate.
And out of the people I know who are not in this wonderful theme park sphere we live in, they don't go to Universal. They go to Harry Potter.
But like,
they don't they don't care about Universal. They don't know another goddamn
Universal is Harry Potter.
Okay.
It's the Harry Potter theme park.
All right, well then, all right, that's fine then. So then now with Epic Universe, they're really trying to sell the shit out of Nintendo for this park. So there's I guess that's my question then, is like, why put Harry Potter in a third theme park if you're trying to sell Nintendo for Epic Universe? Wouldn't you want to try to create new innovative IPs?
Because you still have to get that crowd. That's because of, like I just said, because of the other two parks. Bring Harry Potter. They may not, like Dozer said, they may not care about it because it doesn't have Harry Potter in it.
Okay.
They may not be Nintendo people. It's a good idea. As much as I don't like to have so much of this, it is because Nintendo, they're also hitting different markets. You really are.
The other big issue, and this comes down to the whole Rowling issue and her control and storytelling, blah, blah, blah. Neither of the other lands are really set up to just allow another e-ticket attraction. You want to, let's say for some reason, before Epic Universe, they were blue skying this Battle of the Ministry of Magic.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
They have been for a while.
There was nowhere for them to put it.
That's why the rumor forever was get rid of the Fear Factor stage.
Yeah,
that's where we're going to build it.
And see, to me, geographically, if they wanted to do that, would make sense because you have London right there, and the Ministry of Magic is right there in London. So when you have King's Cross Station,
that's the main hub. Well, that's the thing. That's the main hub. That's what they're going with. London's the main hub, but there's many other Ministries of Magic. That's why you would enter the France one.
Okay.
And then
I get that.
I'm just saying that's the ideology. I'm not a big Harry. I know more about Harry Potter than I lead on, but I still don't know that much. But that's one thing I know here is that they all have that.
All right, let me ask you this then. Epic Universe is going to be the third gate theme park for Universal, even though Volcano Bay is their third gate. It's a water park, whatever. Universal is now going to have 3 theme parks. And if we're going to go based off of Harry Potter as their main selling point, that's fine in all 3 theme parks. But when you look at Disney, for an example, each of those theme parks have a different
identity.
Exactly. Wouldn't you think, or wouldn't you agree that if Universal was smart to not put Harry Potter in Epic Universe, then to have Epic Universe have its own identity, to separate it from the other 2 theme parks, but still draw those crowds there without saying, hey, we're going to sell this theme park because it has Harry Potter because we want that Harry Potter revenue.
No,
like, remember when Epcot opened without Mickey?
Yeah.
How well did that?
It was
How
Figment.
well did that work out when they had no cat?
The
No,
the mouse came back very fast. The thing, Brian, the truth is here.
I mean, you see where I'm coming from, though,
theme,
right?
but here's the thing. Yes, but you're wrong. Yes and no. The theme is the studios. The theme of Islands is the ports. This one, it's the movies, it's the studios. This one's the ports. This next one is the universe.
Actually,
these are the mini universes.
Actually, I kind of have to correct you on that, Bruce. Yes, they are ports, but there's actually
it's the islands.
No, it's actually even more in depth than that. You have to. It's so. This is what I gathered from my one friend who works at Universal. She told me this, and she actually gave me I never even thought about this until she broke it down for me at a simpler fact. She goes, "Okay, look at it this way. When Universal theme park, Universal Studios first opened up, what was their selling point? It was ride the movies, right? So all the rides there were based off of films." She's like, when you're in Islands of Adventure, they're based off of books. Everything is reading. And I never thought about it until she counted. She's like, Marvel Land, you have comic books. Jurassic Park, comic. Harry Potter, or not Jurassic Park, novel. Harry Potter, book series. You have Dr. Seuss, children's books. All the ports, cartoons, comic, cartoon, newspaper clippings and
Lost World, Poseidon. I know these are characters, but remember we didn't have fully Harry Potter there at one point. That
Lost
only
Poseidon.
says but that's what I'm saying. You go back to the core of the park. That's just when they changed the park.
Well, Lost Continent, you can easily just do Greek mythology and Oedipus and any of those Greek stories
with dueling dragons and everything.
Legends, fairy tales,
Yeah, but that
King Arthur.
But you went from being specific to now just saying it's anything readable.
Well, Universal Studios. Well, now it used to be Ride the Movies. Now you have Ride. So, I mean, yes, the concept though initially, the idea for Islands of Adventure though was about living in.
But either way,
living in the books.
But it does either way you break it down. It's still the ports.
Sure,
it may be books. They may be books and everything, but it's still about the ports. You're at the islands. You're at the ports. Here's our different entrance. That's why the lagoon in the middle. That's what I'm saying. The next one, it's all the universes, the epic universe. That's why the rumor has it. It's not going to be interconnected. It's going to be this universe, this one, hub and spoke style. That's the big rumor here. Is that's the universe.
And also, why would they want to mimic Disney when they're currently doing better in a lot of aspects?
True.
It's a good idea.
I guess though. No. I mean, trust me. I'm not against Harry Potter at all. Believe me, I'm not against Harry Potter. I just feel like if
There's
they
too much Harry Potter.
Well, that's where I'm going. If they put Harry Potter in Epic Universe, when is it being too much? Because
this is the tip.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the breaking point. If any more than this, they've gone too far.
That's what I'm saying. I think they shouldn't even put it in Epic Universe, mainly because if they do, it's too much. That's my only take from this.
Anything more than this would be too much for me. This is the final amount because I do think you do need to have it in there.
See, I don't think so. I really don't.
Brian, you forget how much these parks struggle at first. They need it.
I know, but I have a strong feeling with the way how Nintendo is just
Nintendo's yes, but you have a whole set. It's again because you're selling more than just Nintendo. Nintendo's your and remember, Mario Kart is a dud. It's all about Donkey Kong. But forget that. When word gets out about that, well, we'll go here instead because I hear that's no good. Let's go to Harry Potter. Ding, 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 ding. You have to hit all your markets here. It does make sense to have it. Any more than this, if you start having it as an escape room and everything, now we're pushing Harry Potter. But that's it. This is the only way to see, and Harry Potter fans will want to see all three. I'm telling you, that's the cash cow. It really is.
I'm just, frankly, I'm at this point of how much. I mean, I know there's contracts involved and all this stuff, but I'm just at this point. I'm surprised J.K. Rowling hasn't had enough money to say, "Fuck you, Universal. I'm building my own Wizarding World in London."
But don't forget,
her personal stock is
yeah.
nobody would support it. Nobody wants to give her money directly.
That's true.
It just that's why the Nintendo's gonna sell. There's no doubt. The people already have written it in a lot in Hollywood. People will have traveled there for this next year and the year after. I don't actually know it's going to open in 2025, but that's what I'm assuming. You can already go ride Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They need more to sell a whole park. That's why we have to have it. Your selling point is going to be Nintendo and Harry Potter. Both there, ka-ching, ka-ching. Because both are also going to appeal to different groups, sell different merchandise. It's all going to be good for them.
And the funny thing about this is still, Nintendo doesn't entice me, and I like all the Nintendo shit.
Because I've been hearing, like, there's been heavy rumors lately and talks with Universal employees about possibly doubling down Nintendo and not just what they have in mind with Donkey Kong, Mario, and Yoshi.
That's happening. That's next. Every single of these what they're building has a 2, second, and third phase in the works.
Yeah, because there's already been talks about. I've been hearing Metroid. I've been hearing Zelda. I've been hearing Pokemon.
Nintendo doesn't own the rights to Pokemon.
That was supposed to be Kid Zone.
Pokemon is
Pokemon Company was supposed to build in Kid Zone. Zelda had a heavy rumor to go over Poseidon's Adventure. And then Mario and Donkey Kong were going to be at Epic. Again, spreading it around to all three.
Because despite the fact they have 100 years of movies, how many of them are currently making?
Because you have to also think things for kids. That's another big thing.
And
that's why I like having the DreamWorks Illumination stuff. I think that's a good thing.
And the problem is, now that they've set this stage with Harry Potter and even Galaxy's Edge, which isn't Universal, but it's the same vein, we're not at the point where a movie can sell an attraction in New York Street.
Right.
It's got to be, the whole area has to encompass this nowadays.
Because you have to be fully immersed. Yeah, you have to be heavily immersed.
And I'm a big fan of this emergent stuff, but it comes a point, is it possible?
What about, this is out of left field, but what if it's not Harry Potter? What if it's like, I don't know, Game of Thrones? Or what if it's...
Don't say it. We all know that's been rumored for years for Islands. Don't say it.
What, Lord of the Rings?
Don't say it. I said not to say it. Why don't say it, Brian? Don't you get? Yes, Lord of the Rings has been rumored for so long. Hell, how many times have they talked about replacing all of Seuss Landing with the Grinch?
I'm all right with that. I would be completely on board with that.
And you would have a mountain, a dump it to Crumpet attraction.
Absolutely. I would just... Whoville. Just make that whole Seuss Landing Whoville. And it doesn't just have to be Grinch. Just Whoville.
No, it would be Whoville. It would be the area. Grinch, Grinch being the Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Right, but I'm saying
Grinch themed. It's the attraction. You're going to have 2 attractions, with the main one being a Mount Crumpet attraction in Whoville, and Whoville have an attraction of its own.
Right, or just even,
I'm just sitting here thinking, nothing sounds more boring than a Lord of the Rings land.
I know. It's a bunch of walking.
But that's honestly, that's been rumored for so long. A lot of these I don't think we'd ever see like that. But there is some interesting, ideas there.
I have a feeling we're probably going to see that roller coaster for Fast and Furious at Epic Universe. They'll still keep the Fast and Furious Earthquake ride, but by God, they will install that roller coaster at Epic Universe.
It's been rumored to actually go where Fast and Furious is currently standing. I'm very sad.
Yeah.
I'm very sad about that rumor. I'm like, no.
Just bring back
don't take it away from us. Once it goes, and don't come back.
Just get rid of Fast and Furious, bring back Earthquake, and put Fast and Furious in Epic Universe with the roller coaster. There you go. Problem solved.
I am sitting here trying to think of Universal's additions to parks that are not entire lands, especially in Florida.
You mean like just attractions?
Yeah.
Rip Ride Rocket, Jimmy Fallon, Bourne.
And what I'm trying to say here, though, is how many of those are duds?
Bourne, I thought was awesome.
I've heard mixed on Bourne. I've heard awesome and bad.
I thought Bourne was. I mean, as much as I've missed Terminator, I think Terminator is still one of the greatest live 3D shows of all time.
And Fast and Furious and Skull Island.
Oh my God, Skull Island!
Because I keep adding on to the list of how many are duds.
Oh my God!
Do me a favor, jump into that haystack and find the hidden attraction in there.
Oh my God!
I don't know how it's Rip Ride Rocket, but it is.
You want to talk about an 800-ton gorilla in the room? Yeah, that's Skull Island ride. Jesus, that was. I would love to know whose idea was that, because I can guarantee you they are not employed at Universal ever again.
That queue is fantastic.
Well,
yeah,
I love the car with the driver and everything else about the attraction. I very loudly we pull around the giant Kong head, and I'm like, it's just a head. What the fuck was this attraction? My buddy goes, "This kids, dude, stop it."
That wasn't even the. I'm like, what the hell's going on in this ride?
Stupid. It was stupid. It was just it literally was Kong 360.
Yeah,
with an entranceway and a Kong head at the end. That's all it was.
It's a Chapek attraction.
Well, you're right. It is, and the whole queue is so cool. And when we were in line, and like we were in line, and Liz's cousin, the one who's dating the girl who works for Universal, he was like, "Oh, that's a screen port." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, you used to have live act. Yeah, we used to have live actors in the queue, and then people got too scared to be in it." I'm like, what the hell?
I saw some kid piss his pants and then turn to his family. Something you guys scared? I didn't scream, and I just go, ah!
I'm like, and
the poor kid was mortified.
And they took that effect down. I'm like, well, that kind of ruins half the queue, because like we're in these like tunnels.
No, it's still an awesome queue.
It is with the animatronics in the queue and all that. The
giant. Not as good as there's a Leviathan queue with the video screens in it in Australia. That is incredible.
For what is this?
Leviathan. It's a roller coaster in Australia.
Oh.
Queue, the best queue ever.
Really?
But this one's still pretty close.
I gotta check that on YouTube.
But like, they don't have a good history of replacing attractions. The Mummy, there's a good one there.
Yeah, and that's actually rumored to be going bye-bye.
They just put a new control board in it.
Well,
that shit ain't cheap.
Well, the latest rumor I had is that's going to be the new residency for Fast and Furious. That's what I heard for the roller coaster.
They're just going to reskin the Mummy. You're just going to drive into Vin Diesel's face.
I don't know about that.
Family.
I am Groot.
I don't know about that one. I'm not saying it's wrong, obviously. I'm just wondering, is there more room back there than I think? I'm now questioning I'm like, do you have enough room with the I'm trying to think of how the Hogwarts Express goes. I might be underestimating. There's a lot more room than I believe there is.
I know.
It could be. Maybe it comes out and further back, because I'm just like, but that's so close. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Do they got the room? But if there's more room than I think, that could be. I still think though they just did even with refurbing it.
I mean, you have to realize too, how old is that movie?
Yeah, but more than that, it's something to ride. The roller coaster is still good. I think there's something. Here's another one I think it's time to go. How about Men in Black?
Yeah, I agree.
Simpsons is going. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And what about Men in Black? The attraction barely works.
What would you do?
Worked
to Men in Black? Would you keep the same ride system and retheme it, or just gut the whole thing out and use that?
Don't even gut it. Run it over, flatten it, build new.
Yeah, either build new. If you're going to gut it, the whole system's got to go. It's fine to have a shooting game. I like that idea. I've actually had an idea for one for a long time now. A very lasting franchise that would work with your whatever proton blaster we want to have aboard for Ghostbusters.
Because here's what I was thinking: the way how the building is set up with the city, that would be a perfect place for Secret Life of Pets.
There's not much. There really isn't much city. You got just the towers from the movie. You really don't have much city there.
In the ride itself, when you're driving around, you're driving like first it's the targeting practice, and then you
I gotta go. All of it out.
all of that got that whole thing out inside.
Got the whole thing. If you're not going to run the building over itself.
At the point that you are replacing the ride system, you're going to have to tear so much of that city out anyway. There's no point in trying to save it to put in a new ride system.
It's so old. It's got at this point. You got to go.
I was just thinking because of the city layout, I was like, my God, that could be perfect for Secret Life of Pets. Just replace the aliens with dogs and cats, and just put a small Omnimover track system in there.
You could. It just
redo the cosmetics on the outside.
Down below is just not. Whoop. Outski.
Now, if the Simpsons are going, that's got to be a massive project. I mean, that entire land's going to have to be demolished. That would be insane. That would cost the company a lot of money.
That is like knowing that is as you said, it's not an if, it's a when. Right. And I think it's a sooner than later.
It went from my understanding, I probably said it before. It went from being a 4 to 8 years to 2 to 3 max.
And
all I'm thinking here is stretching teams too thin.
Yeah.
I think you might be having part of one project, expansion for one project, because remember something here. We don't have to shut Simpsons completely down. We can demolish the attraction itself first. And then we don't close Springfield Eatery. And then slowly, when you're ready to build whatever retheme it there. Big thing you don't want to lose is that eatery on that side of the park.
Yeah. I would get rid of the Kronos, the alien thing first.
Kagan Kodos, that's an easy go away. No, I'm just thinking the biggest thing you're going to want to clear fast, you're going to want to clear the land for whatever you're going to build.
And keep the ride there until
No, get rid of the ride first.
Oh, ride first, and
that's what I mean. You can leave. You can have the eateries and get rid of the games. I'd get rid of the games area and get rid of that ride area. Get rid of the games and everything. Close Kang and Kodos and have it just, here's our eatery of Springfield. Here's some Simpsons merchandise to sell the merchandise while you can. You have the food trucks and everything. Yes, Dozer?
It purely depends. Like your idea purely depends on however the contract is worded for their fee.
Yeah, I know.
What is their contract with the Simpsons right now?
No one knows.
It's not out there like the Marvel one. And
this has always been very odd.
If they're paying this, like if the fee is like a flat fee, it would almost make sense to take everything out and just do a bland theme of the eatery.
Which is that may be what happens.
Just
because
just a temporary like fill in.
Random Africa world showcase type deal, or a random train set.
Probably make it a quick classic cafe.
Yeah. Throw some minions in there. That's how they fix everything anymore.
Nope, they got their own cafe coming.
Bring back Monsters. Relocate Monsters Cafe back to Simpsons.
It's gonna be epic universe. We all know that.
I know that, and you know what? I'm telling you right now. Once they officially announce the Universal Monsters Land, I better hear a Monsters restaurant, not even a Monsters Cafe. I want a full blown sit down dining experience in the Monsters Land.
Made by Rainforest Cafe.
Yes.
So
yes.
Daily lightings. Hourly lightings of the Frankenstein.
What was that one cafe up in New York City? The Jekyll and Hyde
Club.
Is that still there? Yeah, do something like that. That's what I need. That's what I need at Universal. Give me something like that. Full blown 30, every 30 minutes of dinner show of the resurrection of Frankenstein's monster. With bookcases to find the bathroom.
Yeah.
I love that. That place was so cool.
Excuse me, I have to give Disney some money here, or
Oh,
an
boy.
idea for money. I think weekly, monthly, they should have special dinners at Skipper's Canteen, where they call back the cast, and it's the Adventurers Club, and it's the Adventurers Club meeting.
That's cool. I like that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be
Because
really-
there's so many nods to it there anyway.
that gives me all the more reasons to work and become a skipper at Disney. Just so I could say I'm part of the Explorers Club.
By skipper, you mean boat captain, not
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise skipper.
Yeah.
Because the Jungle Cruise skipper, that actually seems like a terrible job.
No.
It's fun for a little while. Everyone that's done it's enjoyed it.
And then the same jokes every 5 minutes.
12 to 15.
Yeah. True.
I don't know how many times I could stand giving that spiel.
The backside of water.
Because it honestly, because you can do it very bland if you're in a bad mood. It's the backside, and it will be fine. They
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, we have to do this. Backside of water. Everyone say ooh and
It's
ah.
not. They're not certainly not as strict with that as Great Movie Ride was.
My dream job though is for if I worked at a theme park, skipper for the Jaws attraction. Hands down. That would have been my ultimate fanboy.
This thing's loaded.
I would have gone to town with that gun. I would have done one-handed with the shotgun and just going after the shark, man. I would be I would even be quoting. I would go off script. I'd be quoting Brody lines we're gonna need a bigger boat. I would just be it fully immersed in the storyline, dude. And then I would get the call from Steven Spielberg saying, "Yeah, we have to let you go for copyright." You're just not a team player at Universal.
10 minutes. We'll be shark food in 10 minutes.
Shark. Men go into water. Men don't come out of water. Devil's eyes. That shark had black as eyes.
But I'm getting tired because
Yeah.
I built a wall partially today. I got more wall to build tomorrow.
You need to get Mexicans to build that wall for you?
No. Couldn't find them. I don't know if I told you, I live far enough out in the boondocks that my 7-Eleven is run by white people.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's not kidding. I've seen it.
Wow. It's like a foreign land.
It is.
It is.
It's like walking in and going, the hell is this?
Besides, if we can give Bruce any time to watch Wednesday, he needs to.
Oh yeah. How far along are you? Have you watched it yet?
I haven't watched an episode.
Okay, we finished it. There is one scene that I recall that referenced a squid.
Okay.
It was
There's
only-
nothing on screen.
no. Well, real quick. There's a real quick lesson.
Don't worry. If there is, I'll know.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you.
Pointed tentacles out to me in Halo.
I'll tell
I
you.
did point tentacles out in Halo. They were. And then they even call them octopuses. Proving my point.
All the scene is, Bruce, and I'll just tell you this right now. If I remember, it's I think the school cafeteria, and there was squid on the menu. They just dumped squid tentacles on a plate. That was it. That
Okay,
was
good
it.
to know. I'll be
That
looking
was it.
for it. Watch
That was it.
cafeteria scenes.
That was it. That was the only
Don't worry.
thing.
And if there's more, I'll find it. I
That
know
was
what
the
to
only
do.
thing that I spotted, was just there was one scene, because it was right after when he asked me about her pet octopus, and I'm like, I don't recall, because she has a pet scorpion, but not a pet octopus, and I was looking out for anything squid related in the show. There's only 8 episodes, 45 minutes long.
Well, thank you.
I
I
was-
appreciate it.
I was I was researching
Tentacle
for you,
watch.
man, to see if there's any tentacle watch for you. And
I
the only-
appreciate it's always folks. I always appreciate tentacle watch. Keeps me healthy, wealthy, and maybe wise.
the only tentacle that I spotted was the one on a dinner plate. That was it. It was either like at the Addams Family house for dinner, or it was at a cafeteria or something. There was squid on the menu.
It's Addams Family. There's going to be
Yeah.
tentacle. What are you going to do?
But the show is fantastic. We loved the show, loved it. There is going to be a season 2. If there isn't, shame on Netflix, because this is honestly, I think this is their next big baby. Like this is up there with like Stranger Things. This is up there with like any big series that Netflix released. This is up there now. Like they have something big.
Look, I already have a spin-off I want. I want some bank robbing stories of Fester and Thing.
I haven't seen it. I don't know the reference, but I'm picturing this in my head.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, it's funny.
And I'll tell you what, Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester, phenomenal. He's only in like 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh, he's got to be good.
He's
got to be good.
Bruce, I'm watching his Uncle Fester.
Fester doesn't have to be over the top. It can be
He
that
is
real...
the quintessential Fester for me now. Like,
yes.
Well,
awesome.
and watching him, I was getting the old TV show, and I forget the actor's name that played the Addams Family on the TV show.
I know. I know who I forget his name. I know who you're talking about because the voice...
Jackie Coogan. Jackie Coogan. Fred Armisen. Pretty much, I think.
Karen Barrow's Genius Steals.
He clearly was doing his homework before creating his Uncle Fester.
Honestly, all the great ones do. Nick Kroll did it for the new animated movies. Even Kevin Chamberlain for the Broadway musical. Kevin Chamberlain, that's when I first heard it. He goes, Talent Borrows, Genius Steals. Can't be Jackie Coogan, so I used his voice.
Yeah, and Fred Armisen, it was the voice. Like, that's what it was. Like, he had the high-pitched voice, and just his mannerisms of just, like, walking around.
Fester's always been my favorite.
He was Jackie Coogan. It was Jackie Coogan today in color. Like, that's how, like, he looked like him. It's
perfect. It is literally perfect.
Like, I actually had to pause Netflix to say, like, who the hell is that? I actually IMDb pause. I'm like, that's Fred Armisen. Like, I did not even recognize him at first.
There are only 2 people that I think could have been cast better.
Gomez Addams?
Yes. I am not a fan of Gomez, and it's a small ass character, but lasting things. I'm not a fan of the Pugsley.
Pugsley?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree. He wasn't
He's barely in it, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. But the Louis Geisman,
Luis Guzman.
Yeah, he plays Gomez.
I love him. Oh, I love him.
He's a great actor, but even there again, like, he wasn't a key here's my only setback with the show. It's not the Addams Family.
No shit. It's
Wednesday.
It is
Wednesday for a reason.
But the show really should have been called Nevermore Academy. I see why they did it by calling it Wednesday, because if Netflix came out and they said, here's a new show on Netflix, Nevermore Academy, people are going to be like, what the hell is this about?
Wednesday is just as good of a title because it's about her.
It is. And the way how the show is set up is that it's literally like she's narrating her story. It's written like a chapter in her diary.
But there's a chance they're going to have things that aren't going to be at the Academy.
She's only going to be there for a set amount of time, and it's going to be like the Harry Potter
thing.
They
have a longevity thing.
Well, I think the story is going to be set up with her in the school. Like, every season is another school season, like Harry Potter.
What I'm saying is she's 16 and in high school. There's only 2 years.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
If it goes on for 4 seasons.
No. They only have, the writers already said they only have 3 or 4 seasons lined up for the show. Like, it's not like a full-blown 6, 7, 8 season long series.
Still, that's just 8, since it's focusing on this particular character.
Yeah.
There's also the name recognition, which is a smart move. But even if you called it, if you called it Nevermore Academy, you're gonna find an audience eventually, but then you're downplaying it who is in it.
Yeah.
That it's not people are gonna be like, well, is this an Addams Family show? Or
And-
they're gonna think, oh my
and-
god, they're totally ripping on the Addams Family.
But
And then are we running into confusion with Umbrella Academy?
well, that
Mhm.
too. And Bruce, you'll see why I said what I said about the show being titled Nevermore Academy. And those are
I'm sure I
That's
will.
what-
you've seen the show too. Like,
Yeah.
even though it is
I
about
understand what
Wednesday,
you're. I watched Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I know what you're saying. I
Yeah,
get it.
like,
I don't have
but
to watch it. I have to
the
know.
ensemble is just as good as Jenna Ortega as
Yeah.
Wednesday Addams. That's my only take from this, is that some people I've talked to, because I've sold this show to them, like, you guys have to watch this. They come back to me like saying, yeah, it's good, but I was expecting more Addams Family. It's like, but it's not about Addams Family. It's about
Not her
Wednesday.
story.
It's about Wednesday. That's
And-
why I love the show.
And I honestly think if there was more Addams Family, it would have hurt the show
I
because
agree.
I just want to say my line because Guzman as Gomez comes off sleazy instead of suave. Same
Right.
lines, same character.
That's just a different portrayal.
But
It's a different portrayal, but
It doesn't mean it's a good thing. I know.
yeah,
But-
he's still supposed, like, you could tell he's still supposed to be suave. That's the problem.
yeah,
Sometimes you cast somebody, you notice it too late. Of be suave. I am being suave. Oh, he don't got it.
but like, I guess my issue with him is that there's a flashback sequence in the show,
And
and
it's like the perfect Gomez.
yes, that's my issue. It's like the young
That
kid who
steals the
plays
show.
Gomez is like perfect. I'm like, why couldn't we find somebody like him to play Gomez?
They could. I think the problem is it's one of those they realized it too late. Whatever they do, they realized, oh, it ain't gonna happen, is it?
Mhm.
Okay, well, can't back out now. You're
Yeah.
signed on.
I mean, it's not.
We can't back to the future this.
I mean, yeah, like Gomez is not his character's not he's not really essential to the story.
No,
No,
But that was
I-
that was a bother of mine. I'm like, you have this young, good-looking guy playing Gomez who's pretty much playing Gomez Adams, and we go from him to Luis Geisman. I'm like, what happened? What happened to Gomez Adams between then and now?
he got
what hap-
funny. He got funny.
And fat.
Funny. Both. I'm sorry, they go hand to hand a lot of times.
Yeah.
Fluffy, Ralphie May. Should I keep going? John Panette.
Catherine
Old
Zeta-Jones, I
Penn
thought
Gillette.
Catherine Zeta-Jones was a fantastic Morticia Adams. I thought she was perfect.
yes.
I thought she was perfect as Morticia. But yeah,
I-
I love that show.
Bruce, you need to watch it.
I will watch it. I will watch it. It's on the list. It's on the
it's
list.
so good. So good.
I watched the show in the first week it came out. You know how fucking rare that is for me?
The only other time I sincerely remember that is Halo. And maybe one or two of the Disney shows. Maybe.
It took me about we didn't watch Wednesday when it first came out. I think we waited about a week or two because we were just catching up with like Thanksgiving stuff and holidays and all this stuff. And then we were like, you know what? Let's just watch. Like, we'll give 1 or 2 episodes a go. Like, let's just watch 1 or 2, see how long they are. We got hooked. We are like, dude, yo, this show is good.
Honestly, I saw Addams Family plus Tim Burton and said, nah, I'm okay.
It doesn't. And here's what's crazy: it doesn't even feel like a Tim Burton project. Those are the
It's not
best
really-
ones.
It's not what you think it is.
Besides the subtle nods.
Yeah, like it's not a typical Tim Burton film. Like, it's not one of those films where it's like, oh, when's Johnny Depp appearing? Like, there.
Helena Bottom Carter's not in it.
I don't think there's any.
How's that possible?
I was trying to figure out if there was any of the recurring actors that he used in his films in this. I don't think there was any actors that he previously used in this show. They were all new people for Tim Burton. And Tim Burton only, I think, directed 1 or 2 episodes. Like, he didn't even direct the entire series. He was it 4 out of the 8.
Yep.
Was it the first 4 episodes?
I don't know which 4 it was.
It's probably usually with a show like this, they do the first 2 and the last 2.
He didn't do the
short end it.
I know he did not end it. He did not end
Okay.
it. Yeah, I know he
Oh.
did at least the first 2. I can't remember like what other ones he did.
that last episode.
Oh my god.
Okay. I am going to stop before we spoil anything for Bruce, and I
Yeah.
am going to say, we're the Idiots.
So you don't
We're the
have-
idiots.
It's so you don't have to be.
We're on time like the Ghostbusters.